Hey! So, it looks like this video is going out late. I like to upload on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and I am having serious technical difficulties, have been all afternoon. So, this may upload late Tuesday night, or it may go up on Wednesday. I guess we'll just see. But what I want to talk about in this video is faith. And it's funny because we talk about faith, and Scripture alludes to faith as mustard seed and houses and sand and all kinds of stuff. And that's what I want to talk about, something interesting that I sort of ran into. The verse I'm referring to is Hebrews 11:1, and it says, "Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen." What is amazing to me about this verse is it says faith is the substance. Other places in Scripture, it talks about what faith is like, not what faith is. Or Scripture talks about how someone had faith and they demonstrated their faith. But this specific verse talks about what faith is, and it says faith is a substance. So the original word for this, and I'm going to absolutely destroy the pronunciation, apologies ahead of time, is hypostasis. Hupostasis. So basically that word means substance, foundation. It means something underneath. So it really does refer to a foundation. So the thing that is interesting to me though about this word is not just the word substance in that sentence, because most translations have changed the word substance to assurance. Totally works, absolutely. But when we look up the word substance itself, the definition of that word can also mean a person of substance. It can mean having character. It can mean being dependable and being stable. Isn't that interesting? That it says faith is the substance. So I think we could probably substitute that with faith is dependable and stable and has character and is a person of substance. Pretty cool, huh? And because of that, looking at that word and looking at that verse can mean substance. So looking at that verse, I want to look at Matthew 17:20. And that is the verse that says that if you have faith as a mustard seed, and I'm not going to quote the whole verse, I'll drop it in the show notes below. But that one is as a mustard seed. So it's not that you have the faith of a mustard seed, but if you have faith like a mustard seed, meaning it doesn't take a whole lot of faith to move a mountain. Fabulous. I get it, but now let's look at Matthew 7:26. "But anyone who hears my teaching and ignores it is foolish, like a person who builds a house on sand." Sand is not very stable. It's not a good foundation. It is not a solid substance. So then let's jump one more direction with this. Substance also means what something is made out of, the substance, the ingredients, which is also very cool when you apply it in this scriptural format. Because what is the substance, or what are the ingredients of your faith? My idea of the ingredients of faith is, pick a verb. Everything that we go through, God is revealing to us the faith that He's already given us. So when we see Scripture that talks about, "Oh, ye of little faith," it's not really saying you don't have any faith or you don't have enough faith, because God gives us a measure of faith. Every single person has a measure of faith, and I'm not saying a small measure. It's not you can't measure, quote unquote, faith, but He gives us faith. And as we walk through things with Him and we learn from Him and we get closer to Him, that faith begins to be revealed. It's what happened with Abraham. In Genesis 22, 1 through 17, 18, 19, however far you want to go, Abraham is going to sacrifice, and it ends up being Isaac. Of course, Abraham knew his faith, and he understood that if God called him to sacrifice Isaac, He would either raise him from the dead or provide a different sacrificial animal. That is the case where Abram knew what his faith was. He knew where it was. He had already seen it himself, and he knew no matter what God asked him to do, he was going to be willing to do it, because God had promised him he would be the father to many nations, and Abraham believed it. So many times in Scripture, we come to the place, and even in life, we come to the place that we get in a tough situation, it's difficult, and we have the choice. We either believe God is who He says He is and will do what He has said He will do. Sometimes we even have to get the point to realize that He has said He's going to do something. And it's not that we don't have faith, it's that we haven't had to come to the point to have that magnitude of our faith revealed to us. God already knows. He's waiting, watching, and helping us see we really do have this faith. And because of that, when we look back at Matthew 7:26, we know that we're not going to build a house on sand, because sand is not listening to God, not having faith in what He says and who He says He is. So the foundation there is not built on the character of God. When you build your foundation, when you build on the character of God, that is the substance. That's faith. That is faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen, because we don't know the parameters of the faith God has given us, because we may not have gotten to the point yet that we needed to know them. But when we get to the point that we need to see God has given us more faith than we think, God gently reminds us, it's okay, I'm here, remember who I am, remember what I said, and I am your foundation, and I am the substance of your faith. I am the ingredient of your faith. This is what makes it really exciting, because right now it's summer, lots of people are going to the beach, and their kids and parents are building sandcastles, and they're amazing, and we know that sandcastle is not going to last. And nobody's going to build their house on that type of sand. Yes, we build them close to the ocean, but we don't build them on that kind of sand, because we need to build our homes on bedrock. We need to build our homes on something stable. And the home that we built is what is Christ. It is God, and it is that faith that is the substance. So substance is actually a really good word. I like it better than I do assurance, because it says substance is God's character. It is who He is. It is the foundation. It is all the ingredients that God has given us to reveal the faith that we have to ourselves. I hope this helps. I hope this shows you something different, and maybe go pull up these verses and see if you see how they fit together, kind of like puzzle pieces, but not sand.